And thank you for tuning into this third video, which is explaining how I remembered my second birthday at the age of 62, a 60-year-old memory. And this is largely about my mother making my birthdays and Christmases so special. So I regained my composure. I was going through the scrapbook, and then I have some bonus footage that I promised, and I was getting to my Grandpa Jay, which is my great-grandfather on my mom's side, and here's a picture of him, a tintype photo when he was 20 years old. I remember him as a very tall, elderly man who was wearing overalls when I saw him, and he played harmonica, and he had a very different nose than many of our members of our family. He had the very distinct Roman nose, and he had a hefty percentage of Native American in his blood. We don't know exactly how much. I was told it was Cherokee at one point. But this picture of him as he's 20 years old is something that is priceless. It's a tintype photo, and he's in a suit and just looks like such a confident, distinguished young man. Picture of my grandfather on my father's side, my grandpa Jack Wherrett. My father's dad, who I love very much, and it says a lot about Mom that she put many pictures of my father and my father's parents in here. She knows how much I love them and how much they loved me. She also loved them during their life, and they loved her while they were alive. I know you love them, Mom. Going through, I just noticed a little bit ago, this is the only picture I have of my Uncle TJ. I have a picture of my Aunt Helen here, and my Grandma Nana, and my Aunt Patty, and my mom, and my Uncle TJ and Aunt Helen, who TJ lives in Illinois now, and Helen's up in Denver or Lakewood. So these things are priceless. My Grandma Nana, again here, my mom's mom, and my Grandpa Clifton in his service uniform here. Most likely, I believe that's World War II and that era. And these are some of the only pictures I have of them. My mom's current husband, Mark, this is at their wedding. Mark's son, Ryan, who's no longer with us, and Mark's daughter, Renee. These pictures are priceless. My sister, Debbie, and her beautiful family. Well, yeah, my sister's kids, my Shris's kids, Luxon and Tinsley. Yeah. My mom's favorite song, the lyrics to it, A Wonderful World by Louis Armstrong. That's her favorite song. And then she's got the back open for me to still put these other lovely things that I have here. Some other recent family photos and cards from that Mom and Dad had sent me. Twice in my life I've lost all my possessions due to just choice. I didn't have money to pay for a storage unit once when I was really young and dumb. And then recently when I left Montana in 2014 in the fall and moved back to Colorado permanently, I left just a ton of possessions there, including some things by accident I never wanted to leave, but some of those were family photos, and my mom knows this, I think, and she has filled in the gap largely with the scrapbook. I gotta say that scrapbook, I can't even open it without crying. When I first opened it, when I first got it, I just fell to the ground and started crying immediately, tears just flowing out. Niagara Falls, it was just, I saw how beautiful it was and how much energy she put into it, and it just overwhelmed me. And I keep it in my bedroom in a Foot Locker and inside a metal box that I keep with like my, birth documentation and my high school graduation, things like that. So you might notice that I'm wearing something a little different here. I put this robe on. I realized that, oh gosh, I forgot the robe. This wonderful, beautiful robe that I just had to wear it. I'll show you how good it looks. It's real soft fleece, and it always hangs on my bathroom hook. I'm going to put it away here, make sure we're still taping, and yes we are. Pardon me for a minute. And I'm back. How could I forget the robe? Well, because it's right under my nose. That beautiful robe she gave me, that was in Denver as well. When I lived in Denver, she gave me that, I think when I was living with my old housemate Rod there. So I said I would have some bonus footage. Here's the bonus footage. Mom's receipts. What could this possibly be? Look at this pile of receipts, which is all loans that she's given me over the years that I've paid her back. And these receipts go way back. I know there's 2014, 2015. I know there's some older than that. A lot of this is Mark too, and thank you, Mark. I just want to mention my dad's loaned me money too, and thank you, Dad, if you watch this. My mom's loaned me money probably a dozen times over the years, and it would take Price Waterhouse accounting firm to go through all these receipts and try to figure out what the hell is really going on here. But I always paid her back because that was how I would get another loan when I needed it, and by golly, I'd probably need one. An example of things that happened right before I left Montana for good, for the most part, other than, I'll go back to visit, but I'll never live there again. In 2014, at the end of the summer there, things just weren't going great for me, and I didn't have a car. I had a great house I was living in, but my housemate had ALS disease, a well-known guy in the area named Mike Yoakum, who passed away in 2020. But she came down and met Mike and met my last girlfriend in Montana, Maria, and her and I went car shopping, and we found a Jeep that was cheap enough that she could loan me the money for it, and by golly, we bought it. And it wasn't about a month later, I bailed on Montana. Maria left and went to Europe, and I moved back to Colorado and moved back to Denver. And that about a couple weeks after I got back to Denver, a bicyclist hit me through no fault of my own. It's a good thing he hit the side. I was going full steam downtown. I could have run him over if he was going a little bit faster. He hit the side of my Jeep, bashed the door in. In the process of fixing the Jeep door, I accidentally broke the Jeep window. So I was calling her, asking her for another $150 or $200 loan, her and Mark. And they came through for me again, even though I hadn't paid a penny of the Jeep back yet. And here I was in Colorado, and I had all my things in the Jeep. I didn't have a storage unit or a place to live yet. Anyway, things like that. The story of my life and what it took to keep me afloat all these years. It wasn't easy, But she was always there for me on that. And these receipts, I'd like to do something with them. I can't figure out what yet. You know, business documentation. Anyway, that was the bonus footage. Other than here, now I'm going to get in real quickly and read that poem that I wrote when I was 18. When I graduated high school, I left town the very next day with 3 foot lockers and a backpack and went to the East Coast and spent the summer on the East Coast. And that was the start of my adult life. And this poem I wrote for her, she stapled it to the inside of the photo album and scrapbook, and this is the original copy. I hope she kept the copy for herself. She's so selfless sometimes with these things. Anyway, the note says, "Mom, this is an updated version of a poem I wrote about you the year I graduated high school. I still feel the same way about you now. Love, Patrick." All right? So I wrote this right after I sold my guitar. I was getting money together to travel. And I realized at that time, you know, when I played music, which I always was going to be a musician from about the age of 8 or 9 or 10 on, that was it for me. I was going to be a musician, and I studied guitar and practiced it every day. And my poor sisters and my poor parents who had